I am Dana K. White of aslobcomesclean.com and author of Organizing for the Rest of Us. Okay, so I have been sharing some of my moving process. Today is really more about decluttering momentum because I am at the point right now in my moving process where I'm kind of down to stuff where I'm like, yeah, do I need anything out there? Like, really? I mean, do I need anything that's still out in the garage after 4 months in a box? But I do have to go through those things. And so what I'm experiencing is the power of momentum because I am like, I'm fine. I'm good. Anything that's in a box and has been in a box for 4 months, I mean, I'm going to get rid of more than I keep, right? Like that's my goal, is to just get rid of anything that I don't absolutely get excited about seeing or have missed and wondered where it was or whatever. But I'm just like, I'm just going to get rid of that. So it's not always that easy. I mean, obviously there were my photos out there, but not obviously. You wouldn't know that, but it was obvious to me. But as I do things, I basically am like, I am going to take things there immediately, like I've talked about in the other, a couple weeks ago in a video. I'm going to take it there now. I'm going to go ahead and go take it as soon as I run across something. If I know that I need to keep it, then I need to have a space for it in my home, which means I need to take it there now. And sometimes that means I go, yeah, I don't feel like taking it there now. I must not need it that bad. I'm also going to share just real quickly, because this is the reality for people like me. So this is my office, which has been repainted and they put drywall up and stuff. It was actually, somebody lived out here at some point, so it's kind of in a barnish building. But this is what I decided one day. I'm like, I gotta get something done. And I was overwhelmed and I was like, I'm just gonna deal with this. And I was dealing with this construction mess that had to be dealt with. And I was like, I bet you there's some special way to deal with this kind of stuff, because this wasn't normal dust. It was like construction kind of stuff. And I decided, you know what, I'm just going to do the best that I can, and I'm going to keep going. And did I have to go back over it multiple times? Yes. And yet it went from this to doing the best that I could, just wiping it down again and again, cleaning the sink in the less than ideal way, just like, I'm just going to clean the sink. It's not perfect, but here I go. I'm cleaning the sink. And I went from what it was like before, which was pretty much unusable and kind of embarrassing, like I wouldn't have been able to make this video here right now. The time that it took between the two was, let me look real quickly, started at 10:05, and I shot my after video at 10:58. That was longer than I would have thought, and yet it was done. So I could have gone from 10:05 to 10:58 wishing that I was done, or 10:05 to 10:58 and then I was actually done because I had done the work. So anyway, I'm happy to have that finished. But let's talk about some of the clutter that I was dealing with. So another thing that I dealt with recently, I went out into the garage and I was just like, I'm just gonna go through boxes. Just gonna go through boxes. Just gonna do it. Hopefully get rid of as many things as I can. Came across this box and I was like, oh, that's right. That's the stuff that I used to decorate in what used to be my game room at our old house. And I thought, so do I take it to kind of the equivalent to the game room now? And I just went, no, I don't think I do. I think I'm just going to get rid of it because I just have gained that momentum. I haven't been missing these things. And I have been enjoying having less stuff in my house than even obviously I owned. So I was like, I'm just gonna get rid of it. So I got rid of everything in this box, including that black carved out doolally art. Y'all, that was art I did my senior year in high school when I took an art class, and I was like, oh, wait, I can do a few things. I always thought I was terrible at drawing, and that was mostly just copying something. But I was so proud of that. And I went, you know what? I had this up in my house for a long time. I enjoyed it. I got to experience it, and I think I'm ready to let it go. And so it just, all these things that I would have once thought I would have so many emotions attached to, I had no emotions attached to anymore. And obviously the pictures of my kids, I went, oh no, I've got to, and then no, this framey thing is broken and I never loved it anyway. So I'm going to get rid of the framey thing. I'm going to throw it away because it was broken, and just take the pictures out. And then I can take the pictures immediately to where I would look for pictures first. And that takes so much less space in my home and is something I could do immediately, okay? And got rid of a large volume mass of stuff that was in the house. And then I ran across this. You know what that is? I was in college. I somehow got a free Olin Mills sitting and said, hey, college friends, let's go get our formal portrait made. These were in the days where it was not as easy to take group pictures as it is these days, right? I love that picture so much, and I went, oh no, what am I gonna do? I'm not gonna put this on my wall, and yet I can't get rid of it. And then I went, duh, Dana, what have you done in the past that you've taught others to do? Just get rid of the frame and put this picture in your large picture album. I specifically bought, and I have another video from a long time ago about this, but I specifically bought an extra large, super fancy album where I could put large pictures in there, because so many times, right, we have huge pictures and they take up so much space as long as they are in the frame. But I can get rid of the frame. I think I donated this one, even though probably could have just pitched it, but whatever. I donated this one, and just kept the picture and went up and put it in immediately took it there now to my nice photo album. So here's the thing. In this format of being in the frame, I would never go looking for this. But in the format of just a photo, yeah, I would look for that photo, but I'm not looking for the frame. See what I'm saying? Yeah, so that momentum just helps me start breaking through some of those delusions. And I also found, sometimes mixed in with things, somehow, I don't know why, I found my Olive and June set that I have been looking for. No, I'm not an affiliate. Actually, I'll probably come up with a link and put it here in the show notes. But yeah, like I had been looking for my Olive and June nail stuff, and there it was in a thing. So if I had just said, I'm just not going to deal with those because I'm pretty sure that's all stuff I'm not going to want to deal with someday, and I just don't really feel like it, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, I'm looking everywhere for my nail polish stuff. Instead, I emptied the box. I got rid of the whole box of stuff, actually 2 or 3 boxes that day. Got rid of boxes of stuff, dealt with everything, and ended up finding those things that I knew were somewhere and that I had been looking for. Here's a super emotional item that I had many times debated over and had never been able to get rid of. So I read this idea in Family Fun magazine years ago to take a king-size sheet, use it as a tablecloth, and at Thanksgiving have everybody write in permanent marker their favorite, like something that they're thankful for that year, and put the date on it. Here's the thing. I only have Thanksgiving at my house every 3rd year. It also was a sheet. It was an old sheet. It was not even a new brand. I mean, really, I should have used a real tablecloth. Maybe they said real tablecloth and I didn't want to spend the money on that. I don't know. But it was a sheet. It was not beautiful. I looking at it, I think I did it in 2009 and 2011. So maybe one of those years I had us do it before we actually went to whoever's house. I don't know, because that's 2 years. But anyway. So I had this sheet. This is the one that Reed wrote in 2011. Cute, right? And yet the sheet itself was a big wad of oldness. I'm a big wad of oldness, so maybe that's not a bad thing, but you know what I mean. Like, it was just this big wad of something that I never used, and it always was like, oh, that's super sentimental. I just took pictures of everything. I mean, I'm not printing them out. They're just on my phone. I'll run across them here and there. All the memories, I mean, there were only 2 years that we did it anyway, so it really wasn't that sentimental, because it's not like it was so sentimental that I remembered to do it every year after that. Anyway, so I was able to just throw it away. And then the reality of the take it there now process is that sometimes you go, oh, here is a perfectly good spiral notebook. And I know exactly where I would look for it first. And yet, I don't feel like walking there right now. So I'm going to stick it in my donate box. And so that's what I did. So did I desperately need this? No, I would have been willing to walk it there now if I actually really truly needed it, but I know we have others in there. It is one random spiral notebook, and I was more than happy to stick it in the donate box because that was a lot easier than taking it there now. Where before I would have set it in a pile to the side to deal with later and would have forgotten about it, and then would have been like, okay, well, it's time to go back into the garage. And I'm like, wait, I thought I already dealt with this, and I'm dealing with it again. Instead, it's just in the donate box. It's done. And then the reality, I don't know. Some of these things, I found two different broken things. Broken things that I liked. I liked that vase, but it was broken. I liked that candlestick holder, but it was broken. And I just made a decision. I'm not going to keep the broken stuff. I've got plenty. I have other candlestick holders. I don't use candlestick holders that often, but I have others, and this one's broken. So there is really, truly no reason for me to keep this. And I'm sure there are lots of people who could do something great with it. I'm not going to. And because of the momentum, because I was at a point where I'm like, I've been getting rid of a lot of stuff. I am ready to be done. I will get to being done faster if I throw this away than if I try to figure out where I would look first for a broken vase that I might do something with later. And so speed becomes the goal with the momentum, okay? So, have you gained decluttering momentum? Have you seen how much easier it is to make what used to be super difficult decisions once you have momentum? All right? I know this is not Olive and June sponsored, I promise. But this is it's Tuesday, and I did these a week ago Saturday. And yes, it is time for me to redo them, but they're not horrific like they would have been with anything else. So it does actually work. Okay, I will talk to y'all later. Bye.